For Hillary, tonight's all about igniting excitement, about setting the world on fire. It should be easy, like burning an American flag.
Burn that white Catholic down. Oh, this one. Now burn your leg off. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Not as easy as it looks. Poor guy or girl. Hope they have Obamacare. On the bright side, that's a great way to get rid of lice. Back to Hillary. So far, she's been helped by one thing, her absence. The less you see of her, the better off she seems. Instead, we've seen Bill, Michelle, Barack, and Joe making the case why they kept her in storage like a fake Christmas tree. Why is that?
You want to touch mine?
Of course.
Sure, okay, go ahead.
It's real! It's real!
Julie. Oh, that's good. I love our milky tea.
I've never had chewy tea before.
Okay.
She's as wooden as George Washington's teeth. Now, we've seen some great speeches this week, but not the great Hillary or the great plan or the great vision. We've been told there's no one more qualified than her. Yet why hasn't she been able to sell that one herself? Imagine sending your pals to a job interview while you sit in the car emailing Huma. That's Hillary's campaign. She needs famous names to beat Trump because she can't do it alone. The problem is, super friends won't be on the debate stage with her. And I know the candidate is always last at the convention, but this was a problem way before she got to Philly. For her to beat Trump, she has to beat herself. She has to overcome those robotic cadences that rise and fall like a dinghy in 20-foot swells. She needs forceful words and not crazy volume. She has to explain her plan, her vision, herself. In a word, she has to be her husband, Bill. Maybe Bill can wear a wig. He might look good in that, Dana. This is the most important speech of her life.
They always are.
No pressure.
Until the next one.
Yeah, no, this is it. There won't be a next one.
Well,
if this is terrible.
That's true. Well, I think that they have set her up to basically, she could succeed or fall on her own now, right? So she could only pull herself across the finish line.
Yes.
One thing I thought was different last night for me in the hall, what I just, when you're there, the Democrats have been very good at the stagecraft.
Right.
President Obama is very good at the emotion.
Yeah.
So that kind of electric feeling that only humans can feel, like that you could actually feel it last night. So I think that energy, if she can carry that a little bit into tomorrow night, I think Eric's right. She'll get a bump out of this, and then we'll be in a tied situation going into August for the next month.
Do you agree, Eric?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing that stood out for me was all the flags on the stage tonight. It took them 4 nights, but they finally figured that one out.
Because the other ones were being burned.
They couldn't find one. Hey, we're Democrats. We got to go find a flag. Also, Katy Perry's going to lead into it, so she'll have a lot of momentum.
Yep.
Yeah. She's a great political mind.
Right, but there'll be a lot of
Doesn't
emotion.
matter.
You want to hear that, and it's going to be a moment for her. But just take note on how different Mrs. Clinton's speech will be than Bill Clinton's speech. Bill Clinton was all about, oh, she's beautiful. She blew me off at first. I finally got her. Her speech will check the box. Minimum wage, fossil fuels, bad. Abortion, good. Income inequality, bad. Gay marriage, good. And just go down the whole liberal progressive agenda. She'll hit all of those. And my guess is she'll come out of this ahead. I think she'll have a nice 4 or 5 point bump, but that's not enough. It's not enough. She's going to need a lot more.
All right, Juan, in Trump's speech, he devoted a lot to Hillary. Do you think Hillary's going to devote a lot of time to Trump?
No. I think she's going to mention Trump. She might have some way of kind of like dismissive comments about Trump, but not to the extent that we saw from other surrogates. What strikes me is, look, we're coming to the end of the week. I think the Democrats have had a much better convention than the Republicans. But I was stunned that even coming out of what I thought was a catastrophic convention, the worst I've ever seen, Trump got a bump. So I would expect, like Eric, that Hillary is going to get a bump. It might be a good bump, but who knows. But I will say this. She's going to be introduced by Chelsea. her daughter. At the Republican convention, the biggest surrogate for Donald Trump was his son, his daughter, his family. Well, Chelsea will be there for Hillary tonight, but gosh, she had a whole lot more people willing to speak on her behalf, people with real firepower. And I start off with Michelle Obama, President Obama, Bill Clinton, her husband, the former president, the vice president. So the question for me is, well, what does she have to do if Eric says, oh, she's just going to do policy? No, I think she has to change the narrative about Hillary Clinton because she has been subject to so many attacks, so much negativity from Republicans who fear her victory.
And Democrats, too.
Well, no, in this race, I think it's coming from the Republicans and Donald Trump.
And Sanders.
And they say that she's just all about policy, which is what you were saying, Eric. I think she's got to say, you know what, I'm a human being, and here I am, you don't know the human being, and I can be intimate with you.
Well, yeah, but her big knock is the trust.
How charming and interesting way to get votes.
You think she's going to solve her trustworthy problem tonight on this stage? I say there's no chance.
Oh, I think there's a chance she can start.
You know, it is tough, though, when your primary challenge is to convince people you're not an android.
Well, there is that challenge, and given the pantsuit, too, could be interesting. But here's the problem. This is a nominee that has failed to gain any excitement because this is someone who has barely been able to escape FBI, indictment by the DOJ. That's a real challenge here, and then people need to, think about that in terms of the ethics challenges, the disregard for the rule of law, for the email server, everything that went wrong there. She has to try and relate to the American people that she understands their economic and domestic anxieties every day when they go home and worry about how to pay the bills and feed their families. And she also has to understand that while she was Secretary of State, things didn't get better, they got worse, and people lost lives. And now terrorism is here right in the U.S., and we have to confront it and deal with it. So we're going to have to get some kind of way that we feel that she has engendered some kind of confidence that the American people feel that they can trust her with their family.
Is there anything she can say to Kimberly Guilfoyle that will mean that Kimberly Guilfoyle tomorrow on the 5 will say, hey, Juan, that was really good. I feel better. I feel reassured.
You're right. I plead guilty.
All right.
Bill will stop calling you at night. That'll be a big
Oh,
maybe
my
not.
God.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Never guarantee that.
99
I saw
problems.
you making funny notes.
I think that her speech will be more thematic than it is a checking of the boxes.
Right.
If it is a checking the box speech, that I think will be boring and not necessary. She's got plenty of time to do that. Remember also last night that they positioned her as a conservative alternative, kind of a risky thing after 2 days of dealing with the Bernie Sanders people. And also don't underestimate the power in the room of all of the firsts, of her being the first woman. There will be the crowd in that room is just going to be electrified, and that she'll hopefully, for her own sake, she will be buoyed by that. And if not, she's going to have a rough morning.
Buoyed or booed. All right.